a lot of times they don't check every stinking car that they say that an item fits or that a tool operates with.
Well, they're gonna find out from me.
Oh yeah, well, hopefully, hopefully they do that where they'll log it in and they'll research it out, which is another thing to keep in mind too. If you got something like that, call the company, but they should have customer service.
Be respectful.
Yeah, be respectful. Tell them what you see in English with not that many expletives. A couple is allowed, it's okay. But what happens is a good company will take note of that and they'll investigate it. I mean, that's part of my day is that people say, hey, this doesn't fit this particular car or whatever, even though you got a catalog. And sure enough, we go back we backtrack and we find, whoops, and then we take it out of the catalog or the instruction sheet. There's an extra, we left out a step, but there's an extra step on certain particular cars. But if we don't hear about it,
then you don't know.
And that's any company, then we just keep on going fat, happy, and stupid. So, information is power,
You're right. So speaking of fat, happy, and stupid, let's take our last break. I know you had a special finale thing planned on this thing of yours. So let's go. Motormouth Radio, Ray Guarino, Joe D, MotormouthRadio.com. Check us, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And we will be back after this last break when Joe stretches his vocal cords one more time.
We're into our finale here on Top of the Pops. And here's the last number today from The Cream, a swinger titled Steppin' Out.
This show is brought to you by the Empire State Fair, Long Island, at NYCB Live, home of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, from May 11th through May 20th.
Enjoy food and over 100 rides and attractions. You can even take a ride on the Batcopter,
including live entertainment with death-defying daredevil acts, a sea lion splash, and racing pigs.
More information about the Empire State Fair, May 11th through May 20th, can be found at EmpireStateFair.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Leonard, host of Beatles Songs for the past 24 years right here on WHPC. Beatles Songs airs every Friday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., playing the music of the Beatles together, apart, along with Beatle cover songs and songs the Beatles covered, along with songs the Beatle either guested on and or produced. And of course, we provide Beatle news. It's not the same show where they play the same 10 songs. So join me every Friday for Beatles Songs, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College, streaming at ncc.edu/WHPC.
Shake off the realities of the day, broaden your musical horizons, and embrace the diversity every Monday afternoon at 6 on Revelations. The show offers a potently unique collection of music with an emphasis on themes and rock rarities, an occasional tour de force of blues and soul, mixed with compelling sets of folk and folk rock. I'm Steve Kay, and I've got the perfect soundtrack for your drive home every Monday afternoon at 6 on Revelations, right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
All right, we're going.
Can we say no man anymore? It's got to be no one.
You're right.
You got to use the Picard version there.
Yes.
But that's all right. We get the idea. And besides that, there are some places that, you just only want no men not to go to.
You got that right.
So just keep that in mind. We're not sexist. It's just like 1968 stuff. What can I tell you? But,
yeah. So you had a story you wanted to relay, Joe?
A little Toyota tech tip that came across because, God knows, well, actually, I'm living proof because I have a 27-year-old Toyota in the parking lot today with me.
Right.
And this goes to because there are so many old Toyotas still out there, Toyotas/Lexuses, that this is something that might come in handy to a lot of people. Even though those are OBD1 cars, when we're talking pre-1996, Toyota used to provide a diagnostic port under the hood. It's a little little rectangular box. It usually says diagnosis or diag or OBD. Even some of them even say OBD.
Okay.
And if you pop the cover on it, and there's a whole bunch of little terminals in there that go to different things. You could read your oxygen sensor. You could read your fuel pump voltage. I mean, there's a whole array. You have to look at the wiring diagram to see what's for each car. But you'd be surprised at what you could do without having to dig stuff out, because Jap cars, as a rule, everything is so tightly packed that unless you have little tiny hands, you're not getting in there. So this is a great place
tiny
to
probes.
Yeah.
I was going to ask where a person could find a call out or a pin out for that connector.
Well, actually, if you flip it, when you open it up, the inside of the cover has them.
Oh, nice.
But they're in Toyota. Like E1 is ground.
Okay.
And some of them make sense, like B+, you know what I mean, or IG, which is ignition. The reason why we came across this was there was a 92 Lexus at the shop. Now, this has, it was an ES300, which is basically a Camry with leather seats, and it has a hydraulically operated cooling fan, which means it's not electric. All right, it actually works off the pressure of the power steering pump. And the stupid thing didn't work. The car would overheat, or the fan would come on. It would come on very slowly. And
you will sweat now.
I don't know I don't know how you say that in Japanese, but it's
I don't know. So I went to German.
Oh, now you sweat.
There you go.
You sweat now. You open window. You drive fast. You get ticket. Okay. Anyway,
good enough.
Okay, FCC's coming for that one.
No, but Mother's Day next year is so.
So at that point, they had this aftermarket fan and this rat's nest of wires that they're about to put in front of the radiator on the car. And I'm like, and the car's like, why are you doing that? And they're like, well, we don't, we're not going to screw around with this. We're just gonna fix it. Yeah, we're just gonna put a fan on it. And so now you're gonna leave a fan in the front of the radiator, restricting airflow on its own.
They got a bunch of quarter box fan to the front of the car.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was they probably couldn't fit it with the hood closed, so that got off. So what happens was, and the wiring becomes a rat's nest.
Yeah.
And there's no real good place to hook it up, so that way it's not on all the time, which is not good on its own, because especially if the weather cools off, now the car doesn't go into closed loop. There's all kinds of other problems that you generate. So basically, I was like, I remember this. I've seen this before. So I looked at the wiring diagram, and there was OP1 in that little diagnostic connector, which was, I'm not sure what OP has to do with fan.
Right.
So they're like, well, you don't have a scanner for that. What are you going to do? How are you going to work on this genius? I says, give me a paper clip. So I took a paper clip.
Old paper clip.
And I jumped OP1 to E1. So in other words, I grounded this. This is the fan terminal, which I just set the command for, like, you will sweat now, to the fan control computer. It has its own fan control computer. I love it.
Jeez.
The fan comes on like a friggin' DC-3.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, what do we know now? We know the fan works. We know the hydraulic system works. We know the blades work. Okay, so what else is left? The cooling sensor. Toyota has their own cooling sensor, which is separate from everything else, so that redundancy.
To control the fan,
PS. Okay, it was $100 unit.
Okay,
but it works fine now.
Probably a lot cheaper than it would be if you had to replace that fan control unit, if you could find one.
Right, if you could, yeah.
You have any idea what that thing would cost?
Well, it's a 25-year-old car. It's a couple, $500-$600.
Yeesh.
But you know what the thing is? That's one thing I know. This is one thing about the red car syndrome, or like they all do that syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like the modules don't break.
Right.
You have to do something really filthy to it, like hooking up the battery, backwards or something, like 7 times.
Yeah.
And then it'll happen. But the main tip I wanted to give is that there is, especially even on OBD1 cars, Toyotas, is that you could pop that connector and you could see a lot of stuff. So if your checks, lead you to like the oxygen sensor or the fuel pump or any of that kind of stuff, you could do it right from there without having to go crazy digging components out, taking out trim panels, all that kind of crazy stuff. And, not for nothing, I've actually seen that too. Hyundai Kias have a version of that as well. So, it's the kind of thing where you may want to look around. This is the kind of thing where you could cheat and use Google. You know, so, but if there's like a diagnostic connector like that,
we're not communicating over here. I want to show Kim why the CD
yes,
player.
Yes, I know. I see the American Sign Language flying there, and
I don't want it to eat it. So
Ray, you need more fingers to do sign language.
I know. I ran out.
What is the CD?
No, well,
I did.
You know, we're gonna have to take that CD player apart, and we're gonna have to do something with it.
We can do that.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to wrench it. But
Kim can flash drive.
We'll not do that now because we don't want to have to bring in the mop or the fire extinguisher for the beginning of Kim's show. We can't do that to Kim because she's got the boss to play.
Right.
You know,
we'll let that wait. So that's a great tip, Joe. I'm glad you relayed that, and I want to say in a few weeks we're going to have a woman. Yeah, that woman Audra from. I don't have the paper in front of me. She's
Audra Forden.
Yeah, she does.
Women Auto Know. She's on Facebook and stuff. Yeah,
right. And she runs a
she's
tire
a
shop.
Sharp. Well, I can't say girl, but no, she's a sharp woman. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I know her because her dad had a shop in Queens over by the outside of Flushing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Law You Should Know.
Yeah, right.
Be on Law You Should Know.
She was on. Yes, Kim was saying she was on a show called Law You Should Know here. Oh yeah, Audra Ford. There she is. It's on the.
Yeah,
the computer.
yeah. And when I was a kid delivering parts, I seem to remember there was the guy who owned the shop had his two daughters working there in various functions. So,
which is always kind of interesting when daughters work in a shop. You know,
I think it's cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. As a matter of fact, girls are just as able to do stuff these days on cars than guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Especially because now, a lot of it requires smarts and intuitive thinking and stuff like that.
Which blows a lot of the guys of the same age out of the box.
Right. You know what I mean? It's not, and with power tools, you don't even really need muscles anymore.
True.
Although the whole manicure thing might just
that could be a problem.
Might become a problematic at some point. But
you're getting your daughter back this week from college, which is nice. That's
right.
Always great.
So
this is the time everybody's graduating. Kids are going.
Graduation from NASA.
Yeah, NASA's graduation is tonight, this afternoon rather, and it's that time of year. I remember when I was younger, hanging out in the bars. It was like, why are there so many people here? Like, whenever all the kids are back from college. Like, damn, when the hell are you going to get out of here? Right. Then towards the end of the summer, you realize, like, hey, where'd everybody go? Oh, good, the kids left. Yeah. They were all it was the same age, because I didn't go away to college.
More room for us, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, that's just the next crop, and then you move out of that to the dad thing. Can we fit that in?
Let's see. It's going to be slim. Yes, caller, you're on with the motor mouths. You got to make it quick.
Yes, very quick. This is Liz.
Hey, Liz, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I like the gentleman saying that woman knows about car as well as man.
You were one of the people I was thinking about when I said that.
I am one of them. I still have a Honda with 120,000 miles. Element, and I just got the strut down. I got, I always, the tires are changed regularly, and I watch my car like I watch a kid,
Very good. Excellent, Liz.
Okay, so who are you? I mean, I usually talk to Chris.
Well, Chris hasn't been on the show now in about 2 years. It's Ray, me, you talked to me before, and Joe. Oh, yeah. And Joe's been here a lot, too. He was here even before Chris. He was sitting in with us.
I used to be the janitor.
Yeah, for quite a while, so.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but, I have been away in Europe a lot, so I did not back with your stuff. But thank you so much.
Well, don't be a stranger. Call us whenever you feel free.
Yeah, by all means, we miss you.
Wait a minute. You used to have a party in a garage, I remember.
That was our 10th year anniversary party, yes.
Are you going to have another one?
We'll keep you apprised of that. If we'd like to do it, if we're going to do it, we'll let you know. Yes, that's on our things to do.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Liz, we got to go.
Nice to hear from you.
Okay.
So long.
Bye-bye.
All right, Joe, and with that, we do got to go. Kim is here ready to
saddle up, lock and load.
So let's get out of here. We'll be back next week with more Motor Mouth Radio. See ya.
I do.